Matt, overall did really well. A couple of things we talked about was first just getting feedback in the ball flight, beginning to analyze what we're doing. If anything, we mentioned our swing, if anything, is a little bit of in to out. So a couple of things I would look into would be just first how you approach the ball. I would try to get as square as I possibly could, and just as maintain it, keep it square. If anything, as I mentioned, for a 7-iron, we were getting the ball more back in the stance. And the more we do this, it's not really right or wrong. It's just going to encourage a little bit more of an in-out swing. So one of the things we talked about was just that address here. As you walk into it, walk in a little bit more square. And also, when you separate, if anything, is a little bit smaller right, a little bit bigger left. So if anything, we're going to move the ball here more forward. So that's pretty neutral right there. And then from the down the line point of view, it's also a lot more neutral. If anything, we're walking in now pretty square, pretty balanced. Again, that looks really good right there, especially when you compare it to where it was before, how close it was. That looks pretty darn good right there. The one thing to keep an eye on, like we mentioned before, is there's a tendency of anything for our body to move too much towards the target, which throws off our sequencing. So as we're doing this, just be a little careful that the lower body doesn't move too far forward, which is going to tend to get the golf club a little bit too far underneath. So as an example, if you watch, let's get Snead here for a second. If you watch when he comes back into the ball, you can see there's much less of a shifting and more of a turning. And that's going to have a huge effect on the path. You'll see the same thing here, whether it's him. We'll grab another golfer here, just to watch when he returns back. See how the lower body is not moving as far forward. And I do think because of that, it's going to make it a little bit easier to do that if at address, the left foot is pointing a little bit out like it is here. So again, if we can get where it's not quite as far movement forward, that would be make the ball striking a lot more consistent. Overall, though, doing really well. Got some good things going on here in the setup and swing. I would definitely recommend, like we said, I think a compression board is going to be huge for you as you practice. And I forwarded you the Google search as well on the email.